beautifully. And today it's Tali Koren.
Yes.
Tell us all about you and who you are, because the way it works is I have it all timed out and they will tell me when to introduce the song and I'll do that. But it usually gives us 5 or 6 minutes to just chat.
Right.
Okay, which is what I enjoy doing.
So ask me just a question.
So tell me who Tali Koren is, where you're from, what you're doing, how long you've been singing.
Right, okay.
Give us the story of your life.
Yeah, the story of my life in 5 minutes. So I'm from Israel originally.
Whereabouts?
Tel Aviv, Haifa, but
okay.
yeah, came to London with one suitcase and a dream in 1996 to become an international singer-songwriter, and it just happened. The British people really welcomed me beautifully. And
we are a nice welcoming people.
You are. And since then, I've been in the UK. Singing, doing also work for peace and reconciliation with the House of Lords. Just doing a lot of activity, which my main thing is always to take difficult times or negativity and turn them into something positive.
Well, difficult times and negativity have been the field we've been walking in. The crop has been all
That's
difficulty
right.
and negativity for the last, I forget how long now.
Yes.
When it started, I was doing this show and I'd be saying, oh, so for the last 6 months it's been, and then, whoa, we've had a difficult year. And then suddenly it's, well, we've had a difficult couple of years. And then it becomes ridiculous.
I know.
So how have you dealt with that?
Okay, so first of all, you pronounce my name really nicely, Koren, which means in Hebrew shining.
Okay.
I've changed it because I was like Cohen, like Leonard Cohen, but I changed it. I don't know why. When I was 15, a model at the time.
That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah,
though,
and the translation is shining. I didn't know that it would become my life purpose. So in the pandemic, I was all by myself because my late husband, which passed 4 years ago, so I was alone. But I had a choice, either to feel sorry for myself or to do something positive. So I've been streaming to the community, to my neighbors, doing poetry competition, finished 2 albums, and just became stronger and stronger. And I think it was one of my best times. And it's probably very unusual for you to hear it.
No, it's not unusual. There has been something about this pandemic. It's led almost to, and I don't use this lightly because I know it's a very serious thing. Right, okay. My mother is in her mid-90s. I think she's 94, so she'll kill me for saying mid-90s, but she's in her 90s. Very fit, very well, mashallah, very happy with everything. And she talked to me about it and about the pandemic. And she said where she lives is very nice. She's got her own space. She's very happy there. People can come or not come as she chooses, and she's got through it very well. And she described the war, the Second World War, which she lived through, and she said, for all the pain, all the suffering, some people's lives, she was evacuated to a lovely part of the world and had a lovely time.
That's right.
Made new friends and went to a new school and lived in beautiful countryside and all that. And she said, what came from it? And it's happening with this. There's an element of survivor guilt.
Yes.
There's an element of, and I'm completely understand it because I've had a lovely couple of years. I've been doing this show because no one's been doing anything. I've been able to get any guests that I wanted because no one's busy, no one's off on tour. And you do feel sometimes, perhaps I should have suffered more because a lot of people have suffered terribly. And so I understand what you're saying about you.
Yeah, but you know, turning the minus into plus. It's not that I didn't go through suffering. I lost my husband. I was all by myself. I don't have family in the UK. But it's what you choose to do with that suffering. And you know what? As you said, people got new friends I got a new friend, which is myself. And that's what happened to many people. They suddenly had time to slow down and reflect. And for me, it was just, I've been creative and I love what I do so much. So
it's a real part of it. Do you know? It's a real part that doesn't get spoken about. And listen, by the way, we're fully aware of the terrible suffering that many, many people have suffered. And we don't demean that in any way. We've spoken about it a lot on this show. But as we come out of it and as time goes on, I hope that people will think, hang on a minute, I had some nice times and I did some things there. Just because now I can go back to this and this and this. I hope people don't forget, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to spend a day on my own. I'm going to sit and read today.
And being able to do it, because we all the time need people. But actually, when we stop, we see that it's not the end of the world. So I'm from being very lonely person in the UK. I just suddenly realized it's not the end of the world the moment you come over it. But just last month I did for the Samaritans fundraising, so I didn't know when I came to London, I didn't have anyone here and I had such a dark times. I didn't know that I actually can call a number for free. So the important for me, and that's my message, because the song that we will hear soon, it's a poetry. And I encourage people, children as well, to write poetry, to express emotions, even if they're not professional. It's so important to share what we feel, because if not, it can lead to a lot of different things like the mental health. And by talking about it, not being afraid, there is always help there. There is always help there.
One of the greatest things that I've been most pleased with about this country in the last 5-10 years is it's opened up and about mental health much more. Because we used to be very closed about it, very embarrassed about it and shy about it. And I spoke to a guy who was part of, he's an ex-footballer, I know him, and he was on the show and he was talking about, and he said one of the main things is ask twice. And I said, I don't know, what does that mean, ask twice? And he said, there's two guys, how you doing? I'm fine. How you doing?
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And it was like, and when he said, I remember thinking, that sounds so simple. It might almost be trite, but it's such a big thing to do. How are you? No. How are you? Really, how are you?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's a wonderful thing. Tell us about this song. It started out as a poem, didn't it?
Yes, from a guy from Australia in 2016. As an independent artist, I need to do all kinds of things to get social media and to get activity. Now, poetry is something that I love. Let's say in Hebrew, I can call myself not a poet, but I can write poetry. Right. English is my second language, so I love having poems of others and compose them. And
so you read the poem and you put
fall in love with that.
Right.
Compose it almost in one take.
Right. Are you ready to go with it?
I'm ready. I'm afraid to be emotional, but I will.
We love emotion on this program.
Right. Can I just have a sip of my water?
You take a sip of the water, and when she's ready, in her own time, Tali Koren will be singing for us "If I Could Write a Love Song."
That I seek. If I could write a love song, I'd rip pieces from my heart and place them in your open palms to ensure we never part. I'd go to war-torn countries to learn about despair, so my words we show my feelings. I just wanna be by your side. I just want to be by your side. By your side. I just want to be by your side. If I could write a love song, I'd toss pepper in my eyes, so you could feel my love for you in every tear I cry. I'd swim the raging river, though the river is too wide, like running bear to white dove. Just want to be by your side. I just want to be by your side. I just want to be by your side. I just want to be by your side. If I could write a love song, if only I could write a love song for you. If only I could write, if only I could write a love song for you.
Bold Talk Radio.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Watch it live on your smart TV.
The world headquarters of common sense.